Well, guys, it feels great to be sitting here in front of you today with another big win under our belt. It was a really tight fought game against Coach McCoa. We really didn't see it coming down to the wire like that and being that razor thin. But hey, his wide receivers play a hell of a game. We didn't see that coming. I think it was like the second time in school history that LSU threw 5 touchdowns, which is a little ridiculous. But anyways, we're just happy to get the win, and we'd like to thank our sponsors this week. We forgot last week. Coors Light, as always, and we got a new sponsor in Snapple this week. And so we appreciate them and everything they help our program with. And we'll open the floor to questions.
Who are the biggest winners of week 1?
The biggest winners. Well, I think that's got to be Doak Boys and Poop for Days. They were outside the playoff picture, and now I think they're number 2 and 3. That's pretty crazy that they could move that far, and I'm really impressed. And their team seems to be a lot better than we all thought they were, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do going forward.
Who was the biggest disappointing team of week 1?
Ooh, well, that's kind of a sad award to give out, but I think you got to give it to Coach Craig. He dropped 7 spots, which none of us saw coming. I really don't know what happened with his guys, but he dropped some players, picked up some new dudes. Supposedly they're really going to help his team out, and I think he's going to go in and get a win this week. The fact that he could have beat 6 teams last week, one of them won their game. And so I think it's just he played a tough matchup, and he didn't quite have his guys ready for it. It's the first time in his league. He's playing with the big boys now. We'll see what he does. I think he's going to do good things. I think he's going to win this week and get his team back on track. So he had the worst week last week, but I think he's going to have a really successful week this week and probably moving forward.
What are the biggest games of the week?
Well, let's take a look at the schedule, what we got here. Well, clearly our game with Sexy Mexies is a huge game. I don't know if you saw last week, but we might as well have played the same game. We had a difference of 0.3 points in our total points. We're neck and neck in the playoff picture right now, even though it's early in the season. We got our boys ready, though. We're going to come out there and put up some big numbers. We've made a couple changes ourselves along with Craig's team, and maybe Sexy Mexies has done that as well, but I don't think he's going to be as well prepared as us. I think he's going to come away with a loss, and I don't think that'll surprise anyone. But we want to meet expectations and exceed expectations. I think that's what's going to happen this week. Well, you also got Simon's game, Coach Simon, and Beaver Nation. Last week, Beaver Nation's standout wide receiver was out, but he gets him back this week. So I'm really curious to see what happens there. Although Simon's team played a lot better than Beaver Nation last week, I think that Coach Griff is going to come ready to play this week, going to put up some good numbers, and I'm excited to see if Coach Simon can play with the big dogs. Can he beat a guy that's been in the league for a couple years now? I think we're all looking forward to seeing that.
Last week, we saw a lot of teams jump up from the bottom of the preseason list. Do you think the Swamp Boys has a chance of defeating Alabama Swallows?
Does the Swamp Boys have a chance against Alabama Swallows? No, I think that no offense to the Swamp Boys, but he's sitting at last place right now, and Alabama Swallows is sitting in first. I think that Alabama Swallows is going to sleepwalk his way to a victory. I think you saw big jumps like with McCoa's team last week. They moved from last all the way up to what I think they're at like 8th now. They're at the top of the loser board right now. Not loser board, but the guys who lost. You guys know what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to put Coach McCoa down. But he moved up huge. A lot of teams moved up huge. We talked about the Doak Boys earlier. Poop for Days. A lot of these teams moved way up on the board. I don't think you're going to see something crazy like that this week. I think Swamp Boys is a really tough game on his hands. But you never know what could happen. But I think we all know what's going to happen. So that's all the time I have for you guys today. I appreciate you guys coming back, coming out to talk to me. And I'll be back with you guys next week. Hopefully, we'll be celebrating another victory against the Sexy Mexies. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Bye, everyone.